Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me for 10 minutes to get more from your career or from your teams. And today I'm really excited about the topic because this is work I do with a lot of my clients. So changing how we think about how we're speaking up and how you get your wonderful self out into the world and how you get other people to support you along your career journey, because the more eyes you have on opportunities for you, the more opportunities you're going to have. So part of that is becoming visible online and in a purposeful way, not just completely randomly. So I'm really excited to have a hospitality tech and LinkedIn expert with me today, which is Zoe Convisi. Morning, Zoe. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm super happy to be here, Emily, and these 9 a.m. on a Monday vibes. I'm into it. Let's go.
Setting the energy for the week.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's really important in the travel and hospitality tech that it's quite fast paced. We have often a lot of targets to work with, and there's also a situation where redundancies do happen, but there's also opportunities, right? So how do you get a promotion at work? How do you get to speak at events? If there's mergers and acquisitions, how do you make sure that you're in the right place at the right time? So I'm going to hand the stage over to Zoe to introduce herself, and she's going to let you know how she can help you with this.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fruitful session for anybody listening, because personal branding is not only a topic that I absolutely love. I love people's stories and social media, but it's also super important in the online digital world that we live in today. So I've worked in travel tech for about 8 years now. And for the last 2 years, I've been independent. So I'm an advisor with Gain Advisors. I work for Belvera Partners, which is a PR agency specified in travel tech, and working with loads of different companies, from startups to scale-ups to corporates. And I love my job. I think it's also important to talk about the person behind the job. So back to personal branding, like, who am I as a person? You know, quick story, like 10 years ago, I was working in a call center, okay, with €1,000 a month. I posted about it last week. And within those 10 years, I've managed to advocate for myself, ask for pay raises, educate myself, you know, do all the things that Emily, you know, recommends. And I've managed to have a fantastic, successful career. I was head of marketing, director of product marketing. Now I'm independent and I have this portfolio career, which I absolutely love and keeps transforming. And so what I realized 2 years ago when I became independent was I started to post more on LinkedIn. I just became more mindful of my marketing, right, around my services. And every single piece of business, every single podcast, every single article that I have since done has been off of LinkedIn. And I just say it's like this free online marketplace where you can show your worth, show your thought leadership. And I think it's so important today. And it's important to know the people behind the stories as well. So I think that's it.
And that's a bit where I've seen my clients get a bit worried about showing the person behind the scenes. They know that they want to post and want to get some messages out there, but they have a fear. And at the moment of pressing post, it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So they don't kind of know where to start with getting more visible online. So let's jump into it. And I would just say to anyone that wants to drop in a question or a comment to let us know you're here, we will have time for questions at the end. So drop them in. So what's your advice, Zoe, on getting people a bit more visible on LinkedIn?
So I have 3 pieces of advice, but before that, I just want to do a very quick myth busting about personal branding, which is, you know, I work with executives and founders and company pages, and that's fantastic. But personal branding and LinkedIn activity is not just for your executives, your C-levels. It is for absolutely anyone in the industry who actually wants to manage up in their career. So we talk about managing up within a company, right? But this is managing up at scale. It's not just for founders, it's for everybody. My first tip, because posting on LinkedIn, if you haven't posted or never posted or don't frequently post, is really, really scary. It was scary for me, and there are still things that I find difficult to post about, just leaving it there. The best way to start is commenting strategy, okay? So commenting is a very low risk, easy way to start commenting on other people's posts that you admire, that you know, that you like. Start off slowly with a congrats, well done, I like it. And try and work up to something a little bit more thought through, so that think about when you're making a comment, you're almost showing the people in the comments, you know, what you're worth. So it might be about marketing, and I might chime in on blogs. For example, I did that today because that's an area that I know about, right? So you can start off really slow. And the beauty of commenting as well is that it will really practice your writing muscle in a low risk environment, supports other people. And actually some of my best posts have come from comments that I've made, and that sparked ideas. So it's a great strategy.
Nice. And I've actually found that sometimes my comments get way more traction than my posts, whether likes or impressions. So it can feel like it's not having an impact, but actually it can be more impactful if you're looking at thought leaders and people that are relevant to you in your industry, right?
It's crazy. Since LinkedIn introduced the impressions on comment, I had a comment the other day that had 9,000 impressions.
Wow.
No, it's crazy. I don't want that to put people off though, so that they feel like that depends on what you're commenting on, right? But it was, comments can go far and wide. And again, they don't have to be this structured, I am this. It's just giving support to somebody. That's enough.
Yeah, nice. And what would be your next tip for somebody to get more visible?
So my next tip kind of, piggybacks off that, which is an easy way to actually post is to support other people, right? It always seems praises than it does to sing our own praises. So that could take many forms. It could take a direct, like, had a coffee with my bestie today. This was fantastic. Or co-worked with this person today. Or it could be, our team just finished this amazing project. I just want to shout out to them. They're so amazing. It could be, we had a town hall and these were the takeaways, obviously within, the company's guidelines, but it's a lot easier to talk about other people and it just spreads the love. LinkedIn is a very, very friendly platform. I want to say that as well. It's not an X. It's, not a Facebook. People don't go off because it's their personal brands and their reputations that they're representing. So it's a safe environment.
Yeah, I found that there's a lot of good cheerleaders on LinkedIn.
Definitely. And people, if you're out there, we will cheerlead you, tag us, send it to us. We'll give it a like, we'll give it a comment.
Nice. And then any other ideas to work out how you're going to work out what you're going to post about when you get to that stage?
Content is everywhere. Once you get into a content creating mindset, you won't be able to unsee content. So, what I really advise people is just take more photos. You don't have to use them. Just take them. Just get used to taking them. Get used to being in an environment, whether in or outside of work, where you're capturing content. And also keep a notes list on your phone. The more you capture visual content, the more content ideas you have. The more you go on LinkedIn, within reason, the more you comment, you'll get ideas for posts. So just keep a running log of different ideas you have. And really important, I just want to say, I know this is not within the 3 tips, but to post or not to post is a really big question that I always get asked. And I want to advise people that if something is going to cost their mental health or is going to cost their emotional bandwidth, which is the most important thing that we have, don't post it. Sit on it. Keep it on your desktop or keep it in drafts. Post it later if you want or you don't want. I posted something on January the 1st this year that I'd been sitting on for 12 months, guys. So you can sit on posts until it's the right time for you.
Nice. I really, really like that. And we talked before about potentially having different content pillars that you talk about or themes that you bring out. So how do people work that out for themselves?
That's right. So my 3rd tip is be clear on your themes, or as we say, content pillars. And we do that with company brands, but also personal brands, right? So to keep it really simple, just think of 3 topic pillars that you would like to talk about, because what you could speak about is so wide, so vast. It's easy to get caught up in, that's my issue, that's my issue, that's my issue. Try and keep, say, 2 of them work related. So if you were in marketing, it might be content marketing and social media marketing, and then have a 3rd one that's more personal. Like for me, it might be women in the workplace or working parents, right? So 2 that are much more work related, one that's personal / work, or it could be just personal, like you love parachuting. Let's hear about it.
It's very specific though.
List.
And I guess it's probably worth saying that these pillars can change as well, right? Like we don't have to be stuck with them forever. And sometimes that can feel like a big commitment to say, I'm only going to talk about these 3 things. But as we evolve in our jobs
Yeah.
as people, we can change them, right?
They can and they should change because people are not static. And I'm not the same person I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. And the interests that I have, there are threads, of course, but the interests that I have change. And by the way, we're all allowed to change. And I think this is one of the things that stops people from wanting to be visible. They're like, oh, I'm going to be stuck in this box. That's not being a human being. We don't come perfect at the age of 25 or 35 or 45 and then we don't change. We must change. That's life.
Yeah, totally agree. We have got a question, Zoe. Shall I pop that on the screen?
Ooh, yes, please.
So Renato's asking, what do you think is the best day and time of the week to post?
Oof, that really depends on, who you're talking to. So if you're in EMEA, if you're in the US, it really depends. I generally post, I used to post at about 2. So I would get I'm in EMEA, by the way. So I would get the US in the morning as well, because I have a lot of friends and colleagues over there. Now I just post at 9 a.m. because, to be quite honest, it suits me better. And I think we also want to make this a platform that suits our lives, right? So I'm available at 9 because I'm at the gym responding to your comments in between sets because I'm a multitasker. And that suits me. I'm not going to post at a time that doesn't suit me and I can't answer any comments.
Yeah, so I've heard that this is a bit of a tactic on LinkedIn as well, isn't it? That LinkedIn it's a social platform. It wants to know that you're engaging with people. It doesn't want to know that you've posted at 2 a.m. your time and then you're not engaging with anything. So I think being around to reply to the comments, engage with similar posts before is meant to be another tip.
Yeah, look, I think we're getting into kind of, I really want to grow my account territory here. And of course, there's so many things you can do to warm up the algorithm, the golden hour, like so many things that you or I know because we are growing businesses on LinkedIn. But I really like to bring it back to the everyday, because nobody's everyday, but you know what I mean? People within travel tech who are working in teams, who are working in offices or at home, that they don't want to grow and be an influencer and they don't want to grow and, build a business. Don't worry about all that stuff. Like, just get posting, just get commenting, get posting. Don't worry about the time. Do it when it suits you. You could, if you want to grow later, that's fine. We can talk about it. But I just really, I think sometimes people can be put off by the volume of different advice algorithms. That's great for founders and for us, but for the everyday people, don't worry. Just post.
Just do what suits you.
Do it.
Nice. Great. So if people want to find you, Zoe, or have another chat with you, how do they do that?
So obviously you can find me on LinkedIn anytime. And I just want to say, I'm always open, I have a Calendly. I'm always open to speaking to anybody who's struggling, anyone who's a single parent, anybody who is in a difficult moment of their lives. Always. I'm a big mental health advocate. But on a professional level, on my page, I have a newsletter with LinkedIn tips that go out every week. I have a free resource about how to improve your profile. It's 8 steps and you can literally do it today. So just do it. Because if you're active on LinkedIn, your profile should be, spruced up. And then I'm also starting a project called Travel Tech Tea, where I really want to hear from the people of travel tech. I want to hear their stories. I'm offering a 10-minute recording session with me to help you shape your story, to help find out who you are. You will get the content. I will get the content from my channel. And I love hearing founders talk about their products, but I'm not hearing enough real voices on LinkedIn. And I want to start promoting that. So it's a bit of a passion project, to be quite honest.
That sounds really fun because I know that I find this with my clients. It's really hard for them to see what's special about them because you're living your life as you. So you think it's normal or boring. And actually, some of the things that we take for granted are really what's most special. So I think having this kind of tech tea call with Zoe is going to help hold a mirror up, I guess, and bring out what's special and what your stories are. So then you can get a bit of a better idea of how to build them into your brand.
100%. And nobody's boring. Everybody has something fun and interesting about them. And I'm good at finding out.
Nice. Awesome. So I've popped up a QR code so you can go direct to that link if you're interested in having the chat with Zoe. We have got more comments. Hang on. Okay, nothing in particular, but people can watch back so that they can hear all of your tips. And I just want to say thank you, Zoe, for joining me this morning.
Thank
And
you.
thanks on behalf of everyone else. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye.